Welcome to this Integrating QuickBooks with Bitrix24 using Make.com demonstration by Interface. I am Andy Naylor, Head of Customer Success here at Interface, and we are Bitrix24 Gold Partners providing implementation, customization, training and support. In today's demonstration, I'm going to show you how you can use the middleware Make.com to integrate Bitrix24 with QuickBooks by creating an invoice directly from a deal pipeline. So inside Bitrix, I have a deal pipeline that is for travel bookings. And inside the deal, we have all of the information that a booking would contain, from the client name, check-in, check-out, voucher codes, the travel agency that it's associated with, and the products that is also associated with. And what we would normally do is we would work on this particular deal and we would move it to create invoice in QuickBooks. When we do that, what it will do is it will create an invoice in our travel agency here. How it does that is by using an automation that is an outbound webhook on the booking itself to post the information to our Make.com scenario. And when the information is received in our scenario, then what it will do is it will get the details from the deal inside Bitrix based on the ID that we pass into the scenario. We can then use that information later down the line when we're creating an invoice in QuickBooks. So once we have that deal information, the deal will pass a customer, and we use the search for customers scenario block to ensure that the customer exists in QuickBooks before proceeding. If it didn't, potentially you could add another scenario block in here to create a customer. In this case, we don't. We essentially just check, and if we don't receive one, then it will stop here. In our case, we will receive one, and then we get the customer details again so that we can use it a little bit later on through the scenario. Our next block makes an API call to get the exchange rate of the currency on the booking. So whether it's GBP, euros, or US dollars, then we get the exchange rate making an API call here. And then we essentially check what currency is on the booking, whether it's GBP, euros, or US dollars, and we create the invoice accordingly. So we'll create the invoice passing the deal products into the invoice, the customer information into the invoice, along with a couple of other criteria that the invoice needs, such as the check-in and check-out date. We then make an API call to assign a package to the invoice. And finally, we pass that information back into Bitrix to acknowledge that the invoice has been created. So let's run this on here. So it's currently waiting for a webhook to arrive. Now what I can do is go into my booking, click on Create Invoice in QuickBooks, and what that will do is it will send the deal information into the scenario, as you can see it on the screen at the minute. So everything so far has been successful. Gets the deal, we find the customer, that carries on, we get the exchange rate. It recognizes that it's pound sterling invoice. We create the invoice inside QuickBooks. We make the API call to add the package, and finally we pass the information back into the deal. All of these are green, so that means that it's been successful. If there were any errors along the way, it would stop at that scenario block and provide the error information. What we should see if I now refresh the customer inside QuickBooks is an invoice that is associated to it in here. So if I let that load, what we should see here is our invoice. If I now click on View and Edit, inside. So you can see it's passed our hotel accommodation 150, chauffeuring 55, extras 225. That's totaled that up and give it a package rate of 430. We've also passed the invoice date and due date. It's passed the customer details as well as the customer email, and it's also picked up the billing information in here. So everything has been successful in terms of creating the invoice. Now what we could do is we could have a scenario that passes an update on an invoice in QuickBooks once it's been paid back into Bitrix, and what that could potentially do is automatically move it to client paid. So we can make scenarios one way or two ways by passing information through the middleware make.com into either direction, into QuickBooks or back into Bitrix. So that's a demonstration of how to use the middleware make.com to create an invoice in QuickBooks by passing the information from a deal into QuickBooks. Thank you very much for watching. Please get in touch for a full demonstration, or to find out more about this and other solutions, please go to intraphase.com/solutions. Thank you very much, and bye for now.